Good afternoon and welcome to another interesting fireside chat at the third ET-BFSI CXO Conclave. The theme for the conclave revolves around unlocking the BFSI potential. And one of the ways the BFSI sector is delivering on that business imperative is by leveraging technology to customize products. We are living in an experience economy where organizations, especially the digital native organizations, have raised the bar in terms of providing customized and hyper-personalized products and service offerings to customers. Financial services now revolve around the idea of customer convenience, personalization, and customization. Today, banks are trying to reconfigure themselves to a new set of customers who are more aware, demanding, experience-driven in their financial requirements. In the BFSI sector, the road to customer centricity, growth, and competitive advantage runs right through these technologies that help power product-centric innovation. With that as the premise, let me welcome my speaker, Ravindra Pandey, DMD and CIO, State Bank of India. And we will be talking to him about the future of customizing products. Welcome, Mr. Pandey. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me.
It's our pleasure, sir. The first question that I want to ask you is, this is very interesting because SBI is the big daddy of Indian banking. And you probably know this better than anyone else that banking is and will always be a relationship-led business. Earlier, this relationship was based on trust because your customers trusted you with their money. But in today's day and age, this relationship is also about knowing your customers better in terms of understanding their needs, their interests, aspirations, and goals in life. Like this could be ranging from buying a new house to international travel, studying on foreign shores. So you have to factor all of that in when you're creating new products and offerings for them. And so the immediate need is to configure this relationship-led banking with the use of platform business models, leveraging a potent combination of emerging and disruptive technologies and the maturity of digital services delivery to manage innovation. How does this innovation cocktail help you come up with customer-centric products that have a unique value proposition? Can you also state some specific instances of how some of these products have enabled your customization to customers?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. First of all, as I call it SBI, we are a prominent player into the Indian banking ecosystem because of customers like you. If we have not been there, I have not been a major player in the Indian banking system. So first of all, thanks to my customer for this honor being given to us. See, actually the digital, I think you have touched upon the few of the core issues in terms of hyper-personalization. I think beyond personalization also comes in hyper-personalization. This digital disruption, is redefining the role and the relevance of the bank as a financial institution. Now, the fintech adoption across the world has risen drastically, and the financial institutions in general are being pushed to innovate and outpace the existing ecosystem. There is a push towards in the bank also redefining the business model to develop agility and the increased growth through the hyper-personalization and what you call it as a platform, providing a platform banking. In India, SBI has been at the forefront of driving transformation within the Indian banking system by reimagining and redefining banking processes, bringing a paradigm shift from being a mere process to being a most preferred lifestyle for the customer. What we mean by that is, initially we made the product and customer used to choose it. Right. Now we make the product which customer wants. So that's the paradigm shift in the banking we have.
The push versus the pull factor.
The push versus the pull factor. Now, going forward, initially we call it as a personalization. Now I am calling it as a hyper-personalization. Going forward, now this hyper-personalization will become much more personal. Even within the same family member, I would have a different product for a different family members.
Correct.
And
Catering to their specific needs.
And it will be for them only.
Mhm.
See, towards this, we had, in fact, I'll say, with the basic guiding principle for the bank
Mhm.
in terms of the digital transformation strategy which we had adopted is, first is omni-channel customer experience,
Right.
simplified business processes, data and analytical driven individual products and services, adoption of new technologies, involvement, collaboration, cooperation with the fintechs, and securing IT assets and customer information. In our journey for providing customer a benefit, customer a solution, we should never overlook the IT security and the customer information in a more specific term, PII data. Particularly with the new GDPR coming into a play, the responsibility of the bank to secure the customer data is
Absolutely.
of
That's
paramount
paramount.
importance. So that's the fundamental principles we adopt. And to adopt these principles, for example, SBI, we have the largest data warehouse in the world in terms of data which we have. We are constituting we are also going for a data lake. We are also investing heavily for the next gen data warehouse, both for the data lake, for the structured and the unstructured data, so that we can innovate the product offerings to our customer. We are using various types of analytical engines, tools to provide a hyper customized service to the customer. We have already built a platform known as You Only Need One.
Correct.
If you use that, now this platform was conceptualized in 2017, and it has come into full bloom from 2018 onwards. Is one of people are talking of building a super app in media. SBI has built this super app in 2000, thought of this super app in 2016-17 itself. This is your banking. This is your financial superstore.
Mhm.
And this is an online marketplace. The purpose is, as a banker, I should be able to capture the entire life cycle of my customer.
Correct.
That's the overarching. See, in online marketplace, I tie up with various online market players, aggregator like Amazon, Flipkart, and all, and provide my customer a curated offerings, some freebies.
Right.
Bank don't earn. Let me be very clear. We don't earn a single. This is pure for a customer service, pure for a customer enhancements we are trying to give. Second thing is analytical driven loans. PAPL, pre-approved personal loan, is one such success story. We have built a book of around 29,000 crore on a PAPL book. Asset books, 4 clicks, pure analytical driven, 4 click. Just 4 click on a mobile bank, your account is credited with the amount. So that's the power of this. Is just an example towards the customer. And we also feel that one of the which we continuously forget is that I have to build an operational analytical efficiency also.
Correct.
So therefore, we don't only use analytics and power of analytics towards the customer product differentiation, we also use for customer security. So that is all. No, so now, and once the digital growth is there, you see the UPI, when the digital growth there, along with the digital growth, the major headache or the things which gives us which keeps us awake is probably the cyber attacks, particularly for us. Why? Because my spectrum of customer belongs to a highly sophisticated, highly financially literate person, to people into India, Bharat. They also use mobile. They also have an aspiration, but probably they are more gullible to the fraudster. So I need to build a very, very strong cybersecurity platform for myself. I also need to and not only that, I have to build future-proof my IT assets to the volume which I drive. The more digital hyper-personalized products you provide, more capacity of sizing of the hardware you need to build along with the security aspect. So in fact, our security processes follow the protocol of what we call it as IPDRR. It is nothing but an acronym for identity, protect, detect, respond, and you recover. So these are the fundamental principles which we build. Technology-backed intra-bank connected systems have opened up organizations to a much larger technological risk, cyber security risk.
Right.
If our security framework, but it was the customer, I'm only talking of it towards the customer end, has already had a 3-layer of security. Front layer system, which is our systems, procedures, frameworks, practices, IT risk management, software solution, SOC, we're very advanced next gen SOC also, middle layer. And last line also we have alerts, customer education. If you see our Twitter handle, if you see our social media campaign on Facebook, is towards concentrated on customer education. We also have a dedicated risk mitigated approach based on our IS policy and IT policy and things like that. The nutshell is, how can I provide customized service on the fly, ease of service with full security?
Correct.
See, there are two ways of thinking. One is, if I build any security into the system, it is going to create a friction to the customer. There has to be. If I build for example, we have built OTP. Now, OTP has created some sort of a friction to the customer, but we need to take a very, very cautious view between a security of a customer
and frictionless experience.
And the frictionless experience. Looking to my customer profile. Going forward, this security will be based on customer profile. So that's the next gen of security we are looking. Why should an OTP, maybe 2 OTP may come from a person who is illiterate, who is not so literate. Illiterate here, I'm not saying in terms of education, in terms of cyber literacy. And somebody who is a cyber expert, I know. So based on the profiling, based on his behavior, based on his shopping patterns, based on his account behavior, I can create a different security posture for a different person. This is to ease the friction into the system.
Correct.
And simultaneously building a very robust real-time or near real-time fraud prevention tools. So this is a juxtaposition of all this for providing a customer. And as we are trying to give through this to the in terms of offering, we have been very, very successful. And most important, customer do not want down by a single minute, even at 2 o'clock.
Absolutely.
So that's the challenge. And sometimes I say, for somebody, 99.99% availability is very good. But for my size, 0.01% will be few lakh.
Correct.
So therefore, I always say, I cannot afford even 99.99. I have to be 100%.
Right.
So that is the big challenge on us also, and we are trying to overcome it.
Mr. Pandey, in the first question, you spoke about having the largest data analytics engine in the whole of Southeast Asia, and that you were building data lakes and data marts. So I want to delve a little deeper into this, because SBI runs the largest data analytics engine in the whole of Southeast Asia. And this is because of the sheer volume of customers that you work with. How are you doing a slicing and dicing of the data and making how are you using the data marts and the data lakes to cater to different customer segments that you have and to come up with hyper-personalized offerings for each of these, especially because as the largest bank of India, you have a big social responsibility towards the unbanked, towards the rural customers, the agricultural community. So how are you bringing them into the mainstream of digital transformation? Because they haven't really reaped the benefits of digital transformation as much. So how do you ensure that data from all of these segments of society are used and are used for their benefit to come up with personalized offerings for them?
I think I will start with an example to put for the point. Otherwise, in terms of technical language, there can be very language. I don't want to go into technical. See, artificial intelligence as a common man. I'm not talking as a technical. I'm not a technical. I'm a common man. That has been a chief enabler of hyper-personalization. As a banker, as a SBI, I have a rural population. We have a product known as Unocracy, which is on your mobile. Based on the AI, based on the data insights, based on slicing, dicing of the data, my KCC customer can get his KCC account reviewed, limit enhanced by 10% just in 4 clicks. He just has to confirm 2 things. 1, I have not changed my cropping pattern. 2, I have not sold my loan land as earlier told to the bank. These it's a land confirmation, cropping pattern confirmation. Zifi in 4 clicks is get his KCC review done.
Okay.
Each yearly KCC review, you get 10% incremental money out of it. Going forward, what we are trying to do, and it is always under a process, new KCC loan also. I think KCC, you understand, that is the loan for a cropping pattern. New KCC loans would be given. You can get your new KCC loan sitting at your home. How? There are fintechs in the market. They are already there, based on a geotagging, based on a satellite imaginary, and with the fact that the number of the states have land record totally digitized, they can geotag your land based on a satellite imaginary. They know precisely which crop you are growing based on the color codes, at what stage that crop is, whether your land is irrigated, partially irrigated, or unirrigated. This one. Second hand, based on the land record from the government, based on his your record from charge of the land records, I can give a loan on the fly to my KCC customers. So that is how we are using a newest technology built with data analytics. It's not if a customer has defaulted, I am going to know. I know whether the customer has defaulted. This is that another example I have given earlier also, which is a PAPL, that is pre-approved person. It is pure analytical based. One more we are already offering is pre-approved business loan. Based on the data which I have in my system, based on your interactions with the GST, I will be able to provide you a loan on the fly. In order to provide you the loan, we are also integrated with NACDL for e-stamping and digital signature, e-signature. So that's absolute end-to-end. So that is all we are trying to lay. In fact, one more things we have given is that in order to ensure that ready access to the quality data, we have come up with the innovation notion of a reporting layer, which ties together customer data from the multiple sources into a single view for analytical purpose. So, different data we collate, create a single view, a reporting layer. Based on that, we work on that. There are a number of even home top-up loads. They're all we are totally digitizing.
Also for the MSME segment, because that's one segment which is driving the business growth of banks to new frontiers. So are you looking at that?
We are doing. I tell you that also we are doing it. In terms of MESME sector, we already have an electronic dealer financing schemes. We are also discounting their finance, and shortly we'll coming with one more large project for this. We also entered into a co-landing model. Again, based on some, and data alone cannot do anything. It has to be built, married with the purpose. Married with the purpose and the intention to create a viable product options. So that's all. I think I've been able to communicate. Even for a small BSBD customer, I don't know whether you know BSBD or not. BSBD is Basic Savings Banks Depositor. Absolute, bottom of the pyramid. For them also, we are creating their behavior in their account-based loan offerings. They have transacted. How can, based on their transaction, I can access their need and give them a loan when they need. To this segment of people, importance is to offer the loan when they need, not when you think that the loan should be offered. There are two different concepts.
Mhm.
So for the BSBD customer, we are giving a more cash flow based lending. At
Like
the
the
time,
microfinancing segment. Right.
no, it's lower than even lower than microfinance.
Okay.
Just the beginning.
Mhm.
Its loan component normally happens to 5,000 rupees, but
Mhm.
mind it, for them 5,000 at the appropriate time is got set.
Correct. Correct.
So that we see the behavior. We see, say, I gave you one example. Somebody is drawing, he has 2,000 bucks in his account. He is drawing 100 rupees on ATM, two
Mhm.
times, three times, four times, five times, and he makes an inquiry and then he does not draw. It means that person is in need of money. He's checking his account, but since he do not have money, he is not drawing.
Mhm.
Then I see his behavior, his income streams. At that point of time, you can offer him, look, gentlemen, I can give you a 2,000 bucks loan. You have to pay in next, whatever it is, 60 months or 24 months. So that type of customized product offerings, analytical base, this is possible only when because we made this reporting layer concept of reporting.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So, Mr. Pandey, in the first two responses, you spoke about customer segmentation and how that helps you assess the customer needs better, understand their requirements, and offer loans and products specific to their individual requirements. Now, that of course is a very big part of customizing products, and so is geotagging of your customers and getting a single source of truth, a single view of customers, because that plays a key role in coming up with relevant and also timely products for cross-selling and upselling to customers, because that's one area that banks would really want to sort of amp up their quotient in cross-selling and upselling. So what role do you see AI and ML play at scale in enabling all of this?
Whatever in the last two conversation I told, back is what? Back is this AI, machine learning, natural learning, OCR. There are different facets of technology. What we need to understand that what technology we should use for what. See, the most important in any analytical is not the tools of analysis, is to understand the reason, is to understand the purpose,
the business case,
then use case, and then come to analyze those tools to achieve those needs.
Right.
We always state, like, say, for example, I have a CRM, customer relationship management program. If you are my customer, you are a CRM, I know I can upscale, I can cross sell. But again, basis what? Basis are these various analytical tools. That is why we have, I think I have more than 300 data scientists in my center who does this job.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason. That's the reason we see. Now, even you try to understand CRM, the complaint management system, the lead management system, they all are a part of the ground layer.
Correct.
Which using the AI and animal thing like customer clustering, there are various ways we do the same thing. But ultimately, identify the use case, what they need, when they need, and who they need. Mm-hmm. So that's the fundamental question we use for all our analytical base offering. The rest is only using a tools, creating a product. And one more thing, beyond the customer product, we also have to use analytics in operational efficiency. Means here operational efficiency means services to the customer. How can I improve? Say, for example, we had made into certain area, why cannot I fetch data directly from KYC? Why cannot I fetch data directly from GST? Why should I ask the customer to write his 20-page document? If the customer is given an Aadhaar, why it cannot be fetched? So these are processes also we are living today. Mm-hmm. We have also introduced the chatbots, robotic process automation, under the various underwriting models we have been. We had the predictive and the profiling models, cognitive, and that all these names, tools, means, processes to give customer the product which he wants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And to all segment.
Right. So, Mr. Pandey, you spoke about this heady mix of AI and analytics and ML and security, and all of these go into creating this this innovation cocktail, so to speak. So, What are some of the other technology trends that you are exploring, that you are experimenting with, that your teams are working on, to take to take this trend forward, to create more customized products? What are some of the technology trends that are making their way into your roadmap?
See, one and two, basic technology is continuously evolving. There is no doubt into that. One or two basic technology tools or we are using is, one is the cognitive data engine we are continuously using, along with the intelligence process automation or the robotics. We are also using the contextual tools for improving the operational excellence and the reinventing businesses. And natural language processing, we are continuously using it up. And we are trying to dovetail the blockchain into this entire area. How we can use the blockchain into this area. That is one technology. We are experimenting with few of the areas. It's still nascent state.
Mm-hmm.
Now the third, in terms of we are coming with a cloud strategy, and SBI is the bank which I have own private cloud.
Correct.
So but we have our own private cloud. We call it as a Meghdoot.
Meghdoot, correct.
So the cloud, with the cloud strategy, how can I make it scalable? Mm-hmm. Because for us, the challenge is not only creating a product, delivering a product, but delivering it at a scale.
Absolutely.
My problem is threefold. It's a skill problem is also there. So therefore, all these mix and matches we are making, and we are more moving towards API-based integration. We are also imbibing the good practices or the good products which the fintechs, new age startups or the fintechs are continuously. We are engaging with them, cooperating with them, and try to build a product for the customer. So that's the overall process we are trying to build. It's not any one technology. It's a continuous evaluation of technology. On my technological stacks also, we are continuously improving my technology, both in terms of sizing, in terms of capacity, and in terms of the processing computing powers.
All right. So, Mr. Pandey, it was very interesting talking to you. You walked us through this entire process of how you're leveraging technology for product-centric innovation, how you're leveraging data and AI, ML. You're integrating blockchain into this whole thing, and you're doing a technology overhaul of sorts to help power all of these emerging technologies to take you forward in this journey on product-centric innovation. It was so wonderful to speak with you today. Thank you so much for joining us.